At the dawn of the 20th century, Saint-Pierre was known as the Paris of the West Indies. It was the cultural and commercial heart of Martinique. Theatres, rum distilleries, banks, and a population confident in its permanence. Above it all stood Mount Pelée, silent, fertile, deceptively calm. Fields climbed its flanks, and the townspeople treated it as a generous neighbor. In late April of 1902, the mountain began to speak. Ash fell like snow, the ground trembled, the air carried the sharp smell of sulfur. Then rivers ran muddy, and the summit exhaled dark plumes that blotted the sun. Wildlife fled the slopes. Venomous snakes poured into the city. Dozens were bitten. Some died. Even livestock bolted, and the streets filled with frantic, unfamiliar movement. Officials reassured the public. Elections were days away. The governor urged calm, and newspapers echoed the message. There was nothing to fear. Fearing panic, troops were stationed on the road to Fort de France, turning back some who tried to flee. Carts turned around under bayonets. Families argued at the checkpoints. By May 7th, Saint-Pierre was full, and nearly everyone stayed. Refugees from nearby villages arrived, packing the waterfront and the narrow lanes. One man, however, was not trying to leave. Ludger Sylbaris, a laborer, a brawler, spent the night in violent dispute. He was known to the police, quick to fight, quicker to offend. And that night, he crossed the wrong man. By morning, he was in solitary confinement beneath the city jail. The iron door shut, and the city noise faded to a dull, underground hush. The cell was not designed for mercy. It was an old stone powder magazine, partially underground, built to contain explosions. Stone, damp, and heavy air. A bunker meant to hold powder, not a human breath. Its walls were thick masonry. Its only opening, a narrow slit, faced away from the mountain. On the morning of May 8th, Ascension Day, the mountain failed. At 8:02 a.m., the side of Mount Pelée collapsed. What followed was not lava, but a pyroclastic surge, a hurricane of superheated gas and ash. In seconds, Saint-Pierre was consumed. In minutes, roughly 28,000 to 30,000 people were dead. Above ground, there was no shelter. Beneath the city, physics intervened. Earth absorbed the heat. Thick stones slowed the blast. The surge rushed past the jail, not into it. Inside, the air was still lethal, but not instantly. Hot gas rose. Near the floor, air remained barely breathable. For 4 days he waited. Then, beneath the ruins, rescuers heard a voice. The cell was never meant to save a man. It was meant to contain fire. And on that morning, fire came. And when rescuers finally dug through the rubble, the prisoner stepped out, burned, blinded, alive. Sylbaris was pardoned. His crime was washed away by the catastrophe. But he had nowhere left to go. So he joined the greatest show on Earth. Barnum and Bailey hired him. They billed him as the man who lived through doomsday. He toured America, telling the story of his survival. He was not a performer in the traditional sense. He was an exhibit, a living witness to catastrophe. Eventually, he left the circus and moved to Panama, where he lived quietly until his death in 1929. Today, Saint-Pierre is a small town. The ruins of its theatres and churches still remain, and so does the cell. The walls meant to punish him became the only thing that could save him. Sometimes, the safest place to be is the one place you never want to go. This was the story of the prisoner of Saint-Pierre. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.